In this episode, you're going to discover the exact vocal training routine that I use myself and give to singers that I work with to help you sing better with more freedom, less tension, and thus with more confidence. Let's dive into it. Hi, my name is Maggie. I'm the founder of the Singing Insiders, in which I help passionate singers just like yourself become the best versions of themselves through singing. And in these episodes, you're going to get tools, techniques, tips all around singing to really help you up-level your singing skills. So let's take a look at what this vocal training routine is that I use personally myself and teach other singers so that they can become the best versions of themselves. Now, the mistake that I see many singers make is thinking that a quick little vocal warm-up is all that they need to then jump straight into singing songs. However, there's a part missing there. When you skip the deeper training, and we're going to talk about that today, that is where your voice might start to feel tight, fatigued, inconsistent, and you might be struggling, thinking, well, my voice is just not made for this. And that's where we find ourselves going back into the pattern of thinking and believing that we need to have a certain type of talent to be able to be a great singer, which is not the truth at all. So inside the Singing Insiders, we have and we teach a structured, holistic approach to your vocal practice that actually develops your voice. Not just warms up your voice, but actually trains your voice. And in this episode, I'll share the 3 main essential steps of that process so that you can actually have an effective and focused practice, even when you're super busy and only have 5 minutes a day to sing, okay? So let's dive in. Step number 1. This first step helps your voice feels awake, flexible, and ready to sing. This is all about warming up your voice, prepping your instrument. And one thing I notice a lot, especially with enthusiastic singers, and I know I've been there myself, is that they tend to skip the warm-up altogether or do it half-heartedly, thinking that it's an optional thing because they want to get into the singing. And I totally get that. However, when you skip your warm-up, that's when your voice might feel stiff, unpredictable, and it might even lead you to vocal injury. We don't want to have that. Just as every athlete warming up their muscles, we need to warm up our muscles as vocal athletes to make our instrument perform to the best of its abilities. So think of it like making that blood flow and prepping the voice to then get into real action. So a warm-up consists of stretching the vocal cords, hydration, SOVT exercises. All those things are amazing to warm up your voice. Now, if you're a Singing Insider member, just go to the Vocal Workouts library, find your vocal warm-ups, and sing along with any of them. It's a matter of warming up your body, so prepping your body. So we're doing a physical warm-up, like stretchings and rolling the shoulders, like releasing any tension. And it's also a matter of gently warming up the chest voice, the mixed voice, the head voice. You can use SOVT sounds to help you with all of that. So that is step number 1, is really warming up your voice in a gentle and healthy way. Step number 2, and this is where most singers go wrong, is training the voice. And training the voice doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to sing a song and just sing it over and over and over again, hoping it will improve. No, this is where real growth happens. Most singers, they think that warming up their voice is the training. But that's like going to the gym and maybe run a few rounds on the treadmill and calling that your workout. No, we need to have a focused training. Because if you don't, then you will notice that you're not really making any progress because you're using your voice in the way that you've always used it before. And my mentoring coach likes to say, what got you here will not get you there. Meaning, if you keep doing the same things that you've always done, how can you expect a different outcome, right? So the training of the voice, that is where you choose one specific vocal technique to focus on. That might be breath support, it might be vocal cord closure, it might be releasing tongue tension, whatever you feel like you need to, what I like to call, put into your vocal technique backpack. So this vocal technique backpack is where you start to collect all kinds of vocal techniques that later on you can pull from whenever you need to. So choose one specific vocal technique to focus on, for example, breath support, and then you can use targeted exercises that implement that vocal technique. And this is where you're starting to challenge the limits of your voice. This is where real growth happens, because now you're using your vocal muscles in a way that you might not have used before. So in other words, you're learning something new. You're teaching your vocal muscles something new. And even doing a short burst of practice, of vocal technique practice, even if it's 5 minutes, 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference compared to singing a song without even being mindful of any vocal techniques. So if you're a Singing Insider member, go to the vocal workout library. Pick your vocal technique focus, whether it's breath support or vocal cord closure, bite, twang, whatever it might be, and just sing along with the exercises that you're giving right there and then, because they are all designed to help you train your vocal muscles to really practice that specific vocal technique. Now on this channel and in these episodes that we've done before, you'll find many different exercises to help you with that as well, if you're not a Singing Insider member. But so step 2 is really to sing very focused exercises to train your voice in a new way and thus put that vocal technique within your vocal technique backpack. And then we get to step 3. Step 3 is all about actually applying the technique, bringing it into a song. This step will help you bridge the gap between practice and performance, so that you actually hear and feel improvement within your singing. Many singers, they tell me, well, Maggie, I can apply this technique in the vocal workout, but I cannot apply it in a song. When I'm singing, that technique just doesn't show up. And that's because we haven't made that transition between the two. That's because some singers stay stuck in the training mode and never really apply that into a song. And so what happens then when you're skipping that is that you're going back to your old defaults and maybe your old habits that might be a wrong type of vocal use. So we don't want to have that, right? So what we need to do instead is, well, first, pick a song that you want to learn and that you want to sing, and then choose a short section of that song. Maybe it's a section of the song that you struggle with. For example, the high notes in the bridge or the low notes in the verse, like whatever it might be, or maybe the transition between low to high that you find in the chorus. Then, using whatever you have gathered within your vocal technique backpack, start experimenting. So in step 2, you might have worked on breath support. That's one technique that you put into your backpack. Now here, you notice in this song that you struggle with the chorus. Well, let's open up your backpack and look at, okay, what happens if I take breath support out and apply that here in this chorus? Let me try that. And then you notice, oh yeah, it's going way faster or it's going way easier. Good, that was a solution. Amazing. Maybe you notice, well, breath support isn't really helping me at this moment in time with this particular section of my song. We're taking that breath support technique, putting it back into our backpack, and we're trying something else. Ooh, I see mixed voice in my backpack. Let's take that out and see, does mixed voice help me? Oh yes, it does. All right, beautiful. So this is where Step 2 is gathering vocal techniques within your backpack. Step 3 is actually sorting through them and finding which technique helps you the most in a specific context. And here, it's really important to slow down. Slow down your song, break it apart if you need to, and then rebuild it with intention. Because then next time that you're singing that song, the idea is now you know that you need to activate your mixed voice in the chorus. So you keep doing that over and over and over again so that you get that into your muscle memory. And that's where the magic happens. Once it's in your muscle memory, then you don't even have to think about this technique anymore. But in order for us to get to that place, we need to first, step 1, warming up the voice, getting it prepped. Step 2, filling up your vocal technique backpack. And step 3, going into the backpack and finding which technique helps me overcome this struggle in my song. Does that make sense? That are the 3 essential steps to your vocal practice routine. Now, as you hopefully can see, better singing isn't just about warming up your voice or singing through random songs. It's about being very intentional with your practice, warming up, training the voice, and then the application of it. And this is a routine that gives singers, this is a routine that singers get access to within the Singing Insiders. And when they go through these steps, they notice consistent results. Even when they're busy, they just put the vocal workouts on in their car. So even 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference. So if you want to go deeper, I got another episode that breaks down how to become an amazing and great singer using our vocal freedom methodology. This is where the rubber hits the road. So I want to keep this conversation going in that next episode. I will link to it in the description here down below because this is a bigger conversation to have. It's not just about training your voice. It's also about cultivating that confidence when you're performing in public and doing that in your own unique and authentic way. So click the link below to go to that next episode. I'll see you there. And thank you so much for having been here today. I hope this helped. Talk soon. Bye.